Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Comfort of Favorite Things by Alison Kent, performed by Natalie Ross. Chapter 1. Standing in the center of the space she'd leased on 4th Street for her espresso bar and bakery, Bread and Bean, Thea Clark imagined how her shop would look 2 months from now when it opened, how it would smell with coffee brewing and bread and pastries baking, how it would sound with customers oohing and awing over flaky croissants and delicate baklava and sweet strudel, the artisanal loaves nestled in their baskets with their unique rustic shapes, their crusts beautifully browned around their airy, flavorful crumb. Her shop. The words gave Thea such immense pleasure. Even with all the work to be done, she felt like she could float. At the moment, the shop resembled an abandoned storefront, because it was, but even that made her smile. This was her blank canvas, her bolt of fabric, her empty page to fill with words. She couldn't wait to get started. A year ago, she never would have dreamed she'd be weeks away from throwing wide the doors to a business of her own, one that would benefit many and allow her to pay forward as well as pay back. That, more than the challenge of entrepreneurship, was making it a lot easier to get out of bed these days. She had so many people to thank, and so much to be thankful for. Then again, dreaming was one of the first things she'd dumped from her arsenal of survival tricks. It hadn't made much sense for her to think of anything beyond the day-to-day, when Todd, her ex, was always ready to cut her off at the knees for wasting time on pursuits he disapproved of, to pull the rug out from under her for being so bold as to suggest those pursuits were important to her, to send her crashing to the ground, literally. But all of that was behind her now, and would stay behind her forever. Her future was in bread, and in beans, soup beans and coffee beans. The former sold in bulk, the latter ground and brewed into espresso shots down straight, or used in cappuccinos and lattes. She smiled at the thought of customers seeing the latte art for the first time, even if she was a complete failure at drawing anything but leaves. Other patterns required a wrist action she'd never mastered. According to Todd, her wrist action hadn't been good for much of anything ever. That was why she'd be putting Becca York to work in the espresso bar instead of in the kitchen.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?